Well, I've got another lady coming. She's just running a couple of minutes late, but I thought maybe we'd just give one another a quick introduction to, a little bit about ourselves, just so that we know who we are in the group. And it just makes, I think it makes people more comfortable when they feel a camaraderie. So we'll just start with you, Tamara, and just give a little bit of a brief intro about who you and what you do and everything.
Hi, I'm Tamara, and I'm a Reiki practitioner, level 2, and I work on the Gold Coast, just transitioning into a move at the moment. So, love energy work, healing. I have all my life. So, yeah, just feel like I'm being called into doing my purpose now. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Did you know that they've just opened on the Gold Coast it's like a med bed facility with scalar energy? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
I'll send you the link. Yeah, I had 2 friends tell me about it this week. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So it was really interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's like the med bed technology. Yeah, using scalar.
Beautiful.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
That sounds beautiful.
Yeah, amazing. Janine, just a little bit of background about you.
Hi, I'm Janine. I love, what can I say? I love all this work. I love working with energy and tarot and oracle cards and crystals and all those lovely things. And I'm not a practitioner, but I work in administration part-time. And I'm just looking to connect with more like-minded people.
Fantastic. You had the most beautiful photo you sent me. Was at the Crystal Castle? Was it in New South Wales?
Yes, in April this year.
Oh, and she was beside these huge amethysts, and it looked like you had wings, and it was just such a beautiful picture. Yeah.
Yes, that's been on my wish list for years, and twice before I've tried to go, but due to all the different lockdowns, etc., I couldn't go, but finally got there in April, and I was so happy. It was a wonderful day.
Did it live up to expectations?
Yes, it did.
Oh,
yes.
Cool.
Yes, it was lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Janine. Hi, Robin. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry I'm late. I was rushing through traffic.
No worries at all. I'm so good. You haven't missed anything too much. We're just giving a little introduction about ourselves. So we haven't started. So that's all good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So Martin is has done an amazing work. I've got to say he's very his catalogue of work he's done is really impressive. So just give a bit of a spiel, if you can condense it, Martin, about what you've done.
Yeah, so I've been a production manager and technical director for corporate events for like 40 years or so. So I've sort of done a lot of the major openings in Melbourne, museum opening, and lots of events, Grand Prix Ball, etc. But I've only really been on a spiritual journey since about 2019, just before the COVID thing came in. And of course, that just devastated my business from sort of March 2020. I haven't worked since, basically. And because I sort of specialise in the larger events, they've sort of disappeared. It's started to kick in a bit more now, but I'm just not interested. I have to, have the jab to work again. I'm just not prepared to do that. So, I've just been looking for other ways to make income and just going on a spiritual journey and hoping to find, like-minded people that I can join in a community in an off-grid sort of scenario. So I've sort of been searching for people. I was initially thinking of up north, but the whole around Byron and all that, I feel it's going to be quite targeted in the future. And I think I'm now looking at somewhere sort of in the middle of nowhere in Victoria, away from the coast. So
you should come and move on an island where I am. Living on an island.
Well, my other dream is to move to Thailand, and my perfect dream would spend half of the year in Thailand and half in Australia, and not have to go through another Melbourne winter, because I really struggle with the cold.
Yeah, it does get harder as you get older, doesn't it? But the weather there in Melbourne. And I think you even filmed the Olympics, one of the opening ceremonies or something. Is that right? Or the Special Olympics?
Commonwealth Games I was heavily involved with in Melbourne. But one of the big jobs I did every year was the Prime Minister's Olympic dinner. Yeah, which was like a $500,000 job for me. It was, basically a 6-hour dinner, but there was a lot happening at the time. But it's amazing how much they actually end up spending on a dinner that all they have is a video at the end of it. They haven't actually created anything, just experiences for everyone.
That's the government for you. Good old government. Well, thank you. So highly creative. You're an inspiration. Wonderful. So, Robin, I'd love to hear a little bit about yourself and to share with the group, just so that we have a bit of an intro before we start.
Oh, well, my name's Robin. I'm based in Melbourne. So my husband and I, we have our own business. It's an international business. So just on from what has happened the last 2 years, we were shocked beyond belief what was going on. We were massively affected. I did a few meditations with you, Medyhne. So that was at the very start, the very, very start. So when I saw it come up today, I think it was because I'm not on social media much anymore. I just saw this session on and I thought, wow, it's been put in front of me for a reason. So I'll just jump on. And I was a bit frantic towards the end because I was coming back from the city. I'm like, with my kids in the car and my husband next to me. I'm like, no. So I'm trying to come down and be in this peaceful state after being, rushing, coming from the city. But I'm really pleased and honoured that you all have me here tonight. So I'm excited. I've been on a spiritual journey for for decades, but, it sort of gets switched on and off, but especially the last 2 years, it's really amplified. And I think that's what we see with so many other people. We've really been fast-tracked. If there were moments of slowing during our lives, but it's like, it's really, the volume's really been turned up. Sure. Yeah, which is exciting, right? We're actually meeting people that we're meant to have met during this lifetime, and it's all been fast-tracked. It's just a really exciting, beautiful time. So even though I've been there in tears in my kitchen table, in front of the computer, not knowing which way to turn, there's so much abundance at the moment. It's all just keep calling it in, keep grounding, keep believing, and it does eventually all work out.
That's a fantastic point, because it is how you look at it as well. I mean, we could see it as catastrophe that, people are dying from this and all that sort of thing. There's one way of looking at it, but the other way is it's this incredible opportunity for humanity to really shift forward, and the ones that aren't able to integrate that shift will not be able to partake in that. So that's really important to keep in mind throughout this process, definitely. And I really do think too today that you're coming to this workshop, there's going to be something there that's going to help you in some way in your life, or you wouldn't have been drawn here, so there'll be some nugget, some gem, maybe something big, or maybe something that's small, but there'll be something there that helps you, or you wouldn't be in this place at this time. So that's really exciting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to endeavour to do 2 past life readings for you all. It was depending a little bit on how many people joined us, and I think I'll be able to accomplish 2 for both of you with the time that we've got. And we're also going to look at receiving an Akashic gift from your Akashic record keeper, which will somehow help you in your life at the moment. So There will be the recording of the session that I will be sending to you over the next couple of days so that you can refer to it again. So I hope that's all right with everyone if I just, record it and send it to everyone. And there'll be a few resources I'll be including as well, sending to you. For example, we're going to start with a beautiful prayer called the Armor of God, which is incredibly powerful. It's one of the highest angelic prayers in the angelic realm that is being given to earth, and it works on many different layers, this beautiful angelic prayer, and so we're going to start with that, and that will be a resource I'll send you in, plus a few things like there'll be a healing gift to humanity, a beautiful audio, which is a really high frequency, high vibration audio that you can just play in your house and have it on in the background even, and it really raises the frequency and really keeps you in a high vibration. It's very, very beautiful. It also can clear spaces as well. So, you'll be receiving a few resources like that as well, which I didn't mention in the notes, but just so you know. So what I'll do is I'm going to start with this beautiful prayer and called the Armor of God. And I've already set up temple space. I've called in a lot of the higher beings to work with the workshop today. And I just ask that you all command your highest self's presence to be here with you now. Your highest is EST, highest self's presence. This is the highest platform that we can work from without ascending. So I'll just ask you to take a moment to command your highest self's presence to be here with you now. And there's a lovely little prayer I love to say that you might like, which I'm going to send to you as well, which is, I bless myself with purified love and light. I bless myself with purified divine source energy. So I'll just say that 3 times, and you can say it internally or out loud, whatever you prefer. I bless myself with purified love and light. I bless myself with purified divine source energy. And when we say things 3 times, it's magnified to the highest level. I bless myself with purified love and light. I bless myself with purified divine source energy. I bless myself with purified love and light. I bless myself with purified divine source energy. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up on the screen this beautiful prayer. It's a really wonderful one to say whenever you're doing spiritual work. And it actually, if you can see the colours, it represents different colours. So, for example, when you talk about Mother Mary, it puts layers of pink around you. Archangel Gabriel puts the healing layers of green around you. So if you could see it in colour, you'd see it as you're saying it, all setting up. It's like different platforms that are working and setting up the energy. So it's very beautiful. I'll send you a little bit more information about it when I send you the prayer too, so you can have all information about what it's doing. But I'll just say it out loud, and so you can just sort of affirm it, or you can turn your sound off if you prefer and just say it yourself out loud if you'd like to. And it's the amour of God, which is the love of God, and also the armour of God. So it's got that sort of double meaning. May the divine loving presence of God please be above and all around us. May Mother Mary, the Lady of the Light, please hold us. May Mother Earth, dear Gaia, please hold us. May the 7 swords of virtue please light our way. May St. Michael please stand by our right hand, Archangel Gabriel by our left hand, Archangels Stelorio and Uriel to stand before us, Archangel Raphael please stand behind us. Archangels Camille, Raphael, and Barakiel, please join us also. Please hold us and shield and protect me and my guardian angels and guides of the light of mine from all that is not of God's pure love and light, as I take my sacred steps into my own sacred heart. In God's holy name, Amen. Okay. So now what I'd like to do is I'd like to start with one of you, and I'm just going to do one at a time, and we're going to start with one of your past lives first. And I might start with Janine. That's okay.
Yep, that's fine.
I'm just going to set up space where I'm working with your energy, and then I'm going to go in and read and I'm going to also ask with this work tonight that I ask for the past lives to come forward that are going to be most beneficial to you now in this lifetime. So it's going to give you the most amount of important information that is helpful for you at this time. So I'll start by asking you to, and everyone can do this if they like, place an ultraviolet purple flame around your body and aura, Janine, and just do that for a minute. And just tell me when you've done that, please, Janine.
Yes,
and I'll just get you to say your full name 3 times, please.
Including middle name?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Janine Frances Horton. Janine Frances Horton. Janine Frances Horton.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and ask for a past life to come in that is most beneficial for you at this time. Okay, so I'm getting the Andes mountains. They're in Peru, I think, the Andes. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the Andes in Peru I'm getting, and you had quite a simple life there as a like a villager, but it was obviously quite spiritual because of the energies there in Peru, in the Andes. You were quite connected to, in that lifetime, you were quite connected to your galactic family, aware of them, and you had a relationship with them. Are you interested in UFOs and ufology now or anything like that, Janine?
It's only starting to come into my awareness now, and I'm listening to, YouTube people talking about all the different galactic families, but I haven't been drawn to it before,
right,
up until recently.
So what I'm getting with this is that this remembrance of this past life could help you to sort of reactivate that connection and that some of that knowledge and that information that you had. You had obviously a strong connection with living in that region, Mother Earth, at that time as well. Do you grow your own food, or do you do any gardening, or have a connection to? Yes. Okay.
I have a strong connection to Mother Earth.
Exactly. Well, that was
Yep.
also the same in that lifetime. And you grew, some of your own food, although in some ways the conditions were a little harsh for growing there, but you did that, and you also had a little bit of like shamanic knowledge as well, which was helpful, but at a sort of a simple level. It's like you knew in that lifetime the things that were important, the things that weren't important, or the extraneous stuff you didn't bother with, which is good. And you had quite a strong divine connection, because the location also really magnified that as well. So I'm just asking for any other gifts from that lifetime that are here to share with you now of why you're receiving this information. And we're going to, at the end, when we've done the first lot of past lives. We're going to do a technique where we go in and we connect to that being in that past life, and we create a stronger connection so that we can claim any gifts and we're going to, as you said, we're going to exchange gifts and that sort of thing with that being. So I'll just ask if there's anything else that is going to be beneficial for you to know about that past life. They're saying that this past life is important to you because it's about letting go of all the things that aren't important. All the 3D stuff, the extraneous stuff that really isn't significant. Do you worry a little bit sometimes about things, Janine?
Not as much as I used to. I'm letting a lot of that stuff go and concentrating on my own personal space and not what's going on outside.
Exactly. So that's what this life is telling you too. It's saying to just not worry about things, to only focus on the things that are important, being in the present moment, keeping it sort of relatively simple, the life, so that the complexity is often what stresses us as well. Yes. So, yeah. So, okay, so we're going to reconnect with that being in a minute. So I'll get you to hold that space.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. And we'll move on now. So I might go now to Martin. And Martin, I'll just get you. You've done your ultraviolet purple flame. So I'll just set up with you. Hold on one second. I have to disconnect energetically from Janine, and then I'm going to go to Martin. So, Martin, I'll just get you to say your full name 3 times, including a middle name if you have one.
Yes, Martin Gregory Featherston. Martin Gregory Featherston. Martin Gregory Featherston.
Thank you very much. Okay, so often what happens too when we ask for the most beneficial lifetime to come in, it can be something that has an element of trauma attached, because there's the learning in that. So what I'm seeing in this lifetime for you, Martin, is you were a child and you were in the slave trade, and you were in a cage and they were carrying you. So I'm just going to ask what part of the world. So this is interesting, because it's like psychologically that can mean that you feel in some ways that you're imprisoned in like a box, and it's about being able to release and dissolve that feeling of being imprisoned or restricted in this lifetime now. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, to a point, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to get some more information on this. You didn't live a long life in that lifetime. But they're saying that this information's been given to you to be able to release templates and sort of mental frameworks where you do feel like there's a level of imprisonment. So the next thing they're telling me to say to you is to envisage an image of something that represents for you feeling like your energy is being restricted or imprisoned or suppressed. What would that image be for you if you could think of something that would represent symbolically?
My energy being suppressed.
Yeah, what if there was an image of something that that you could ask for to be shown to you that represents that, what would that be for you?
Nothing's coming to mind, really.
Just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and just say, what symbolically do I see when I think of feeling like I'm in prison? Like some people might see chains or, different things.
It could be I feel closed in not a loving relationship.
Okay, sure. So what I want you to do is so if there was a non-life force thing that represented that, say for example a ring, like a ring representing marriage or something, what would that be in that relationship, symbolically an image of that relationship that's restricting you? What's something symbolically that, because we're going to do a technique to clear that, so I'm just trying to get to us an image of something representing that relationship. Would it be a ring, or is there something else? A house, or that you share?
Yeah, not. Well, it's my kids that probably keeping me together, because I always saw that you have to get to at least 18 before I would, do anything about it. But I mean, I do have. I've never worn any jewelry except my wedding ring, and I put it on 18 years ago and haven't taken it off. So I suppose.
Sure, a ring. Okay, so I see what you're saying. Okay, well, I'll just ask for some more information on this. Hold on one second. Okay, so just we might go back to the original lifetime. So visualizing like a cage, it's like a wire cage, and just with an etheric hammer, I want you to smash up that etheric cage so it just sort of dissolves into dust. So I want you can even move your hand as you do it and just dissolve that cage. So this is symbolically representative of something that could be expressing itself for you, both mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, in different ways, So this sense of being able to be free and to express the authentic you and be fully able to be yourself is what this lifetime is teaching you to work towards in this lifetime. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So releasing all restrictions or suppressions, feelings of not being able to be free to be who you truly are.
Yeah, I mean, I still have a few attachments that I feel like I have to break away from, mainly following sport and cricket and football that I've had a long time attachment to that I feel I need to break.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you can ask your spiritual team to help you to release those things. We're all releasing attachments, different levels of attachment relating to all sorts of things. And so you can ask them to help you release these attachments, perhaps even weaning yourself off them if you feel that attachment's not serving you, and just asking your angels, your angelic team and your guides to help you with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that lifetime is interesting because it's very, very symbolic, and it's like it's come up because you can transmute that, you can release it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to?
Yeah, it's funny because I thought my great uncle was Louis, who died when he was very young, and I kept his photo from when we cleaned out my grandfather's place, and I always felt a connection to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, not knowing if he was a past life, but he died very young and was. They wrote on the back of the painting that the doctors killed him, basically. They mistreated in hospital and died at about 10, I think.
Wow, that's interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, because the whole farmer thing is a cage as well, isn't it, really? That whole industry. Yeah. Okay, very interesting. Okay, well, we might move on to the next one now. Martin, we'll come back to this in a minute. So when we do the thing at the end of the four readings. So I'm just going to disconnect energetically and then we'll go to you, Tamara, if that's okay. Lovely.
Definitely.
And again, just making sure you put your odd twilight purple flame around. And when you're ready, I'll get you to say your full name 3 times, please, Tamara.
Tamara Sky Holm, Tamara Sky Holm, Tamara Sky Holm.
Beautiful, thank you. This is interesting. So I'm seeing a past life here where you were young and you were female and you were, it's interesting because you were very developed in your sight, in your visual ability, because you were unable to hear, you were deaf in this lifetime. And so I can see you looking at butterflies and chasing butterflies, but you couldn't hear. So it's like, you know, when you have one sense that's repressed, then another one is often magnified to compensate. And so you love beauty, and you were chasing butterflies, and you were happy, and you were dancing around. I can see you chasing butterflies, but you couldn't hear. So this is interesting. I'm wondering why this is. And also where the location for is with this. I don't know if I mentioned, Martin, the previous one was around Asia I got for you, but this one, I'll ask where this is. Okay, so this one I'm getting around the Swiss Alps, around part of Europe, around that area. And there were obviously, you know, Alps mountains there. The air was quite rarefied, and so what that meant was that the colors were, you know, when the air's up high, and this is what they're telling me, the colors were quite vibrant because of the different light. So it's quite beautiful, the colors and the images visually there because of that. Actually, it reminds me of those postcards of, you know, the houses with the chocolate box houses and all the flowers, and they look so bright and vibrant, the colours. That's to do with because of the air and everything as well. So just get more information. So why is it that this has come up about that you didn't have the ability to hear, but you had the developed ability to see your sight? You wanted part of your, you know, we all make a soul contract of why we incarnate in different ways of what we choose to manifest in the lifetime for our own learning. And so your lifetime there of being able to see things and really appreciate the beauty of things it sort of enhanced the beauty of what you could see. And it was like, it was actually like when you couldn't hear things, in some ways, you lived in a world that was not a fantasy world, but it was a world where you sort of magnified the positive in a sense, because you didn't hear any the negative things. And so, and you saw, you know, so in some ways it allowed you to live in a world that was enhanced in a way, and then didn't see so much of the negative stuff that was around. So that's interesting. Do you do that in that lifetime, where you just focus on the really positive things and you sort of don't look at the other stuff?
Pretty much, yes, yes.
Okay.
And I'm always always half full than half empty, glass half full. So
yes, so that's what you did in this life, but there was a beauty in that. It's sort of like you didn't, in some ways you didn't miss not hearing because you didn't know what it was like to hear. It's like, you know, you only know what you know type thing. So this,
yes.
Sorry?
That's, yes, you only know what you know. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm just asking, why is this relevant for this lifetime? So they're saying that is one of your gifts, to see the positive and the beauty in things. And that also was a quality that you developed in that lifetime that you have now as well. And so that's a really important lifetime to connect to, because that's a great skill to have, especially when the world's going through this challenging transition, you know. And do you sometimes not hear things, or people say things and you don't hear them properly, or anything like that?
Yes. I do now. Yes. I like living my own world. Yeah. Yes. 100%.
Yes. Well, the positive aspects of that will be very beneficial and helpful for, you know, what we're going through now. So that's why you're connected to this sweet little thing that's running around, you know, and the sky's so blue, and the beautiful butterflies, and she's dancing around on the vibrant, you know, green coloured grass, and I can see all this. So beautiful. That's yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. So now I'll just disconnect energetically from that one, and then we'll go to you, Robin. Okay. Okay, so Robin, I'll get you to say your full name 3 times, please.
Robin Lisa Maria Dolls Ringleben. Robin Lisa Maria Dolls Ringleben. Robin Lisa Maria Dolls Ringleben.
Beautiful, thank you. Okay. Okay, so this one came in really quickly. So this one, you have been in a past life someone who actually goes into like, who went into like haunted houses, and you would find ghosts. And I think you try to help them go to the light. Does that make sense to you?
No,
Okay.
but
Okay, I'll give you some more information on this. Okay, so this was a past life. You were doing this. You were connecting to the astral beings, and you were helping them on their path to, because you know the ghosts that are stuck in this realm don't know about the light. So you would go in and you would help them on their path. Do you, I don't know I can't remember what your business was, but do you help people on their life path somehow in this lifetime?
Only in a investment. You know, we help them find other ways to make money and to create wealth for them. Yeah. So we just help people, really, wherever they need help. We help. I feel like we're helping people. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's what you were doing then. You were helping them in a different way, but you were helping these beings that were so you would go into places that were considered haunted or whatever, and then you would help transition them. Do you sometimes feel like you're inexplicably really tired or something like that? Does it just hit you when you suddenly feel really tired or anything like that?
I used to, but then I've just really changed. Like, I've always had quite a healthy diet, but I've just changed a few things, and now I don't get those slumps that I used to get. And also the children are older now too, so it's not as full on as what it used to be.
Well, the reason I ask is a thing that's happening at the moment, and this is for everyone as well, that light workers or beings, that souls that hold the light, what can happen when people, there's a lot of people transitioning at the moment on the planet from, this and different reasons. So they sometimes what they do is they go to light workers and they attach to them because they're not sure where to go or how to cross over. So sometimes if you feel really, really tired or inexplicably or saying, I'm so tired, sometimes it can be a soul coming to you and wanting you to help them transition.
Okay.
And so that's interesting too, because that is happening more at the moment as well. So just be aware of that, because there's certain protocols, procedures you can do to help these souls transition. And then straight away what it does is you feel you're back to your normal energy again, because you don't feel tired or anything, because you're able to help them cross over, and then your energy is clear. So that's good to be aware of. I'm just mentioning it to you, Robin, as well, because I'm guided to, and also because you were helping them in this previous lifetime. So I'm asking, why is this relevant for you to know now that this was something that you did then? Have you been working at all on developing your psychic ability or anything like that?
I've just been open. Yeah, I've just, just working on it more now than probably, for quite a few years, but not for a business or anything, just really, again, helping people and just spreading more love and light and just serving from the heart, really. So right. Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay. So what they're telling me to say is that to pass on to you, and I'll put it in the notes. If I do forget, just tell me. I'll just write it down now. There is notes on how to help beings cross over. So if that does for some reason happen where they're being coming to you to help transition, and you can feel, and you can even, do you use a pendulum at all?
I've got one, but no, I don't use it. The children came in and they found one of theirs, and we were playing around with it, just theirs recently, but I've got one next to my bed hanging up on the lamp, but I don't use it.
Well, what you could do, even if you know what it means yes and what means no, you can ask it. If you're feeling like there's an energy around you, and you're tapping into that, or that you might be drawing in these energies are coming to you to help in that transition. And when I cross my eyes, I'm just bringing through channeling. So when if that's happening to you, then I can send you information on how to help these beings transition. If anyone else wants it, please ask. And then you can help them to cross over, because you did do this in another lifetime, and that was one of your soul gifts and missions in that lifetime, and you helped a lot of souls. This time it's more in the physical, like helping beings, but still that's what was happening then. And it's sort of like they're saying that there is an element of you energetically that has disconnected from the aspect of your soul, of who you are, of your gifts. So they're asking you to reconnect those abilities and gifts because they're inherent within you, and it's just re-remembering them and tapping back into those gifts and skills, because you know we are multi-dimensional beings and we're operating on many different levels simultaneously, and these are the sort of gifts and skills that we need to be able to reactivate as we go through this earthly transition.
Well, that sounds beautiful. Thank you. Any guidance is always appreciated, especially at this point. What country was that in?
Sure.
Do you know, please?
Sure. England.
Mm.
England. Okay.
Thank you. Very grateful.
Pleasure. So what I'm going to do now is I'm looking at the time, 7:45. Okay. What I might do now is I might go through another of all your past lives. So we've had 2 past lives each, and then you can choose one to connect with at the end, to go in on a timeline and sort of more strongly connect with. I think with Martin, your past life is not one to reconnect with. It's more of just information of knowing that you can step out of restriction. So you don't have to read, but the next lifetime that you're going to receive is the one that they'll want you to connect with. For everyone else, they can choose the one that they most are guided to connect with in terms of the final practice we're going to do on the timeline of connecting to these past life aspects of self. And as we know, when we say past life, all lifetimes are actually simultaneous. There is no linear time, but it's just a way that we can have a framework of understanding for being able to integrate and process all this, if that makes sense. Yeah. So okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start again with Janine and do your next past life, okay? So I'm just going to disconnect energetically from Robin. And if you need to drink any water too, because I'm working with your energy, so you might get a bit thirsty or something, so just drink water if you need to. I think I need to have some as well. Any questions in a minute or before we go in?
I can relate to the shaman past life,
Fantastic.
especially I bet my spirituality in the last 5 years is starting to open up, and what I'm connected to is the Aboriginals and Native Americans, and I've just recently read a book on Australian Druidry, and I've ordered 2 books on shamans. I mean, I've got oracle cards, the Shaman Oracle.
Oh, wow, you are. Yeah, totally. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it is. Connecting to that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to reconnect to your energy, Janine. And I'll just get you to say your full name again, please, 3 times.
Janine Frances Horton. Janine Frances Horton. Janine Frances Horton.
Gee, they're coming through quite quickly, these, which is great. Italy. Do you know of St. Francis of Assisi? You have a connection with him. It's interesting, your middle name's Francis. You were somebody who was working under him. Do you have a connection with animals?
No.
Okay. Well, you did in this lifetime, obviously, because he's the patron saint of animals. Yeah. So I'm guided to give you a bit of information about St. Francis of Assisi. I'll just find that because I've actually got information on him here. St. Francis of Assisi. So Italy was where this was. Let me just put this up. Okay. Animal healing. Though he chose not to be ordained a priest, St. Francis is one of the most revered saints of the church. So, you know, you can, through this transition, you can call on saints. When we call on saints to help us, they really want us to work with them at the moment. You know, a lot of us call on angels, but we don't know that we can call on saints as well. And so you can call on St. Francis of Assisi, Janine, and any of the saints to work with us. So St. Francis of Assisi, he had people in the church that were that were around him. I wouldn't say under, because there was not so much of a hierarchy with him, but there were people around him, and you were around him at that time. 1204, St. Francis, good news. So there is information on him there. I'll send you actually that handout on St. Francis of Assisi. I'm just going to write that in the notes so I don't forget, because when I channel and bring through information, I often forget what I've done afterwards.
He's got a lion on his crest.
Yes.
I'm a Leo.
Oh, that's interesting. Yes. Leo. Yes.
Yep.
Yep. So I'm just going to go in and see. And the other thing I wanted to mention to everyone that they're telling me to say is that if you want to call on the saints, there's actually a particular prayer that you can say. And it looks very, it looks religious, but it's not religious. It's actually a prayer for calling in the saints. And I'm just going to show you what that is, because it's another resource that we can use at this time that's really helpful. So this is the prayer to call in the saints, and it's called the Prayer for the Blessing of Peace, and it's a prayer dedicated to humankind to bring about peace. And it's Dominus, and sometimes you can do a cross as you say this as well, and it calls in the saints. So Dominus Patris Sanctus Benedictus Amen, Dominus Patris Sanctus Benedictus Amen, Dominus Patris Sanctus Benedictus Amen. And that's one way that you can call them in. So if you like, I can send you all that prayer as well. Yep. So I'll just put that in the notes. Prayer for saints. So I guess what's coming up is relevant in terms of resources. So I just get guided as we go along. What are the resources that you're being guided to work with? Okay, so in terms of that lifetime, we're just going to see some more about that. You watched St. Francis of, there's a beautiful movie about St. Francis of Assisi. I would encourage you to watch, Janine, called Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon, by one of the top directors. It was done many years ago, but it's one of the most beautiful movies you could ever watch. And it is on his life, St. Francis of Assisi. It's very, very beautiful. And this male was a male, he would look up to the way St. Francis of Assisi, because he was a very modest, humble being, St. Francis of Assisi. You know, he just wore sort of not particularly good robes, sort of scanty sort of robes that he wore, and he walked around very simple, could look a bit like a beggar or something at times, but he was this beautiful model of love and spirituality, and such a being of light. And so this being that lived with him would look up to him, and he was a real role model for him in this lifetime. It was really an honor to be in his midst. So the fact that you were given that opportunity, that gift in that lifetime, I mean, all souls are equal, nobody's better than anyone else, but this was a beautiful being for you to be able to be around in this lifetime. Again, your life was relatively simple. You were part of a church in that lifetime, and so the learning was, sometimes we experience the church or a religion so that we know that can be a restriction on the true expression of who we are. So sometimes we experience that, so we know in future lifetimes that we don't need to do that. Have you had any issues with religion in this lifetime, Janine?
No, I'm totally out of the religion, any religion.
Well, that's one reason why you're able to have that consciousness, is because you went through that experience in that lifetime and you knew that it did on some level restrict you as a soul and as a spirit. Yes. And so that's how we learn not to do it again. So that's interesting. You also were very connected to children in this lifetime, I'm getting as well. And I can't remember if from the information if St. Francis of Assisi was connected with children as well. I think he might have been, but you were as well in this lifetime. You would go and feed the children, especially children that were a little bit in poverty or didn't have a lot. You would give them some food and things like this. So you gain some karmic credit in this lifetime as well, and through the role modelling of St. Francis of Assisi as well. It would be interesting actually to go there in one time and see if you felt any, that deja vu you sometimes get when you. so that's a very beautiful life to remember, and there was a lot of light in that lifetime, so that's really positive. So sometimes we connect to a more traumatic life to learn what we need to learn, but then sometimes we connect to a life that had a lot of light, so that we can remember that light for this lifetime and to support us, through this experience that we're going through right now on the planet. Yeah.
I do worry about the children in this lifetime.
Yes.
Especially in the last few years, I really feel for them with the human trafficking and the injections and everything. So
exactly.
Yeah, that really affects me.
Yes. So you had this really strong connection with them in that lifetime as well.
Yeah.
And you, as I said, you would actually help keep them alive in some instances by making sure they had food and helping them be fed and things like that. So that connection to children, that's really strong.
Yeah.
But remembering, I guess, this lifetime so that you can remember the beauty and the light, and bringing that light into the planet now. It is so interesting, but I listened to a talk from this woman, and she said that at the moment she's seeing all these rods of God, or rods of light coming down onto the earth and connecting deeply into Mother Earth. And so these rods of light, or rods of God, or what you can call them, are beams of light that are actually more concentrated in areas where there is a light worker. So where there's a light worker, they're bringing through these incredible beams of light, these frequencies, so that the earth can ascend, humanity can ascend, and we're holding that space. So that's really beautiful. And I feel like in that lifetime, there was a lot of light for you with that. So that's great to remember and add a cellular memory. Beautiful. So I'm just going to disconnect.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm going to disconnect from that now. And also, it's interesting, your middle name too, Francis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love those synchronicities.
Yes. Lovely. Okay, so I'm just going to disconnect energetically. And we're going to go to Martin now. Okay, so could you say your full name, please, Martin?
Martin Gregory Featherston. Martin Gregory Featherston. Martin Gregory Featherston.
Great. Now, what I'm also going to do for you, Martin, is I've got some really powerful invocations that you can say, which are helping to release any feelings of being having your freedom restricted, enslavement patterns, anything like that. I'll send you some of them, and I'd love you to start, you know, going through them and saying them when you're guided, and these will just help you to sort of energetically get clear from all that as well. So there'll be a few of them that I'll send you. Is that okay? Okay,
yeah, that'll be great.
No worries. So I'm just going to put that in the notes. Okay. So we're going to go into this lifetime now. Okay, so I'm surprised how quickly they're coming through, actually. Sometimes it takes a bit longer. They go boom, straight in. So what I get for you, Martin, is that a lifetime where you were like a scientist, and you were working with developing beautiful flowers, like genetic things of flowers, and you were quite in the mental body, you know, quite cerebral, and but you also had the connection to obviously nature, in that sense that you were focused on bringing through beautiful flowers, and yeah, interesting. So I'll just get more information on that. So what you, I can see now a parallel. What they're saying is, you in this lifetime, you tried to bring through your videos and through your creative, pure creative contribution, you try to bring beauty into the world. And in the same way, in that lifetime, you were trying to bring more beauty into the world through these flowers. You know, there was a financial component to it, where you were being paid to develop this strain of flowers to you know, to sell and things as well, but you also were not only invested in doing it for that, but you also wanted to bring more beauty into the world. So you can see the parallel there with the work that you do creatively now and what you did then. And also there's an aspect to you that can be quite cerebral and in the mental body. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, that would be true. Yeah, I do spend a lot of time alone in my own mind, but I never get bored or I never get lonely. I just
the other thing that they're telling me to say with that, and this is why this past life's come up, is that sometimes that can be a little bit of a trap to be too much in the mental body, because the mental body sometimes keeps us in a lower vibration, and it keeps us sort of in it keeps us, it's a survival thing sometimes being in the mental body. So it's here to protect us and keep us safe, but it also is of a lower vibration to be really focused in the mental body, in the mind. And it is also a thing that you do see a little bit more sometimes with males, that they can be very much sometimes in that mental body. And also our Western culture that we exist in also encourages us to be very much in the cerebral, in the mind. So they're saying to just be mindful, no pun intended, of going into the heart center and just really centering your energy and focusing your energy emanating from that heart space. And there's actually a technique that you can do here that is really powerful, which I want you to do, which is just to say this. So just put your hand on your head, Martin, and say, I command my spirit.
I command my spirit
to take the thoughts in my head.
Take the thoughts in my head.
And then put your hand on your heart and put them into my heart.
And put them into my heart.
So we'll do that 3 times. I command my spirit.
I command my spirit.
To take the thoughts in my head.
Take the thoughts in my head.
And put them into my heart.
And put them into my heart.
I command my spirit.
I command my spirit.
To take the thoughts in my head.
Take the thoughts in my head.
And put them into my heart.
And put them into my heart.
Take a few deep breaths from the heart center. Can you feel the energy shift when you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I have been trying to work on sort of my heart chakras because I think that is a weakness.
Absolutely. So it's about energetically, mindfully bringing the center of energy from there into the heart. And that technique that I've just done is really powerful. I'm going to send that to you as well. I'll just write that down.
Yeah, I'm realising a lot more the importance of other people reacting. I've got like a whole new family now, sort of freedom fighters, and
Beautiful.
I've lost connection with my family. But it's weird the way I've got such strong connections with people I've only known for a year or so, compared to like losing that sort of connection with some of my other distant family.
You know what? Light workers everywhere are saying that, Martin. It's happening everywhere. It's such a common thing that we're all going through, that many members of our family are no longer in divine alignment, because we were often plonked into families as light workers where there were a lot of unawakened beings around us, and that's why we were put in those groups. But now it's no longer in alignment for us to be in those energies. We're now being asked at a high level to unify with our soul tribe, our soul family, and so that's why those connections are so strong now, because they're really your true family, and the physical beings are often your karmic family, in our birth families, which we've been purposely put with them so that we can often work through old karma, and we can undo anything that we needed to fix from other lifetimes. But it's a different energy now, and so we are being polarized in consciousness from beings that are not energetically in alignment, and it's just you can't force these communications, you can't force these relationships when the energy is so different. And so it's truly about surrendering and letting go of those, and not being in a box in a cage, in our conception that, they're family, we have to have a good relationship, we have to be close. And it's about releasing all that, because that's just mindsets, that's old belief systems, and that's 3D paradigms. So now it's really just about connecting to the beings that feel energetically in alignment and raise our frequency, make us feel better.
Yep, absolutely.
And so this lifetime that you had was, even though you're a scientist, it was quite sort of creative in the sense that you felt you were exploring, the world of genetics and creating beautiful flowers and things like that to bring more beauty into the world. So that's lovely.
I hope I wasn't genetically modifying anything.
I don't think so. I think your intention was pure. You weren't in any sort of nefarious intent with that or anything. I'm not sure of the protocols that you used to do that, but that's not coming up as a thing to have to worry about in this lifetime. It's more the fact that you were creating these things, so that the aspect of creativity, bringing beauty in the world, and also the fact that you were quite cerebral in your approach to life. So that is something that you're wanting to be aware of, so that you can sort of know that the importance of emanating from the higher frequency, which is the heart chakra. I do have sessions where I do techniques where you can go in and we do that to connect more to that divine connection in the heart chakra. If you want a session on that, I do that. But just techniques to be able to do that. I mean, I can even send you I've got for example, a heart meditation that helps you to just emanate from the heart center as well. So I'm happy to send that as well. Just put that in the notes. Any questions?
No, I think that's all good. Okay. The other thing, I've sort of come to the realisation that the women are really the powerful divine beings, and that man's job is really just to protect and support them.
Oh, that's beautiful, Martin. Yep, I probably would agree with that. I don't know but about everyone else here, but yeah, that sounds that sounds pretty. And it's beautiful of you, like Robin's saying, very beautiful of you to acknowledge that being a male, because there is an aspect of ego in males that denies that truth. And so you've been able to rise above that and to get to that spiritual truth, which is a wonderful gift that you have. So we all honour you for that, Martin.
Yeah.
Yep. No problem.
Beautiful. Thank you. So I'm just going to disconnect now, and we're going to go to Tamara next, I think. How are we going for time? Oh, yeah, well, good. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to go in, and then I'll get your full name again tomorrow.
Tamara Sky Holm, Tamara Sky Holm, Tamara Sky Holm.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. This is taking a little bit longer because it's not an Earth lifetime. I don't know if you're familiar with Dolores Cannon's work. Do you know Dolores Cannon's work?
Yes. I'm actually going to do her course.
There you go. Because I'm saying this lifetime is relevant to Dolores Cannon's work.
Okay. Oh my God.
No accidents.
Synchronicities. Wow.
So interesting. So when you read her books, she, the multi-dimensional aspects of who we are blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind. And so you came from another planetary sphere, cosmic sphere, where your energy was a tree, and you were connected to the divine through reaching up to the divine, and your roots were connected to the planet very much. So you were very energetically balanced, and you were basically a tree energy. So I'm asking, why is this relevant for you now to know that you were in this lifetime a tree? You learned to in this lifetime to connect to the divine through they often say that the trees on this planet are our connection to source, because they reach up. So that's one of the ways that you learn your divine. And now I feel teary because it was very beautiful. Actually, this is making me feel teary because it's very beautiful, this divine connection. And so you are reaching up and connecting to the divine. And I always feel the emotions with it too. And your roots going into the earth, or that earth, that planet, you were very connected to that planet. And it was quite beautiful, actually. And it's also given you the ability to ground and to connect to Mother Earth, or to know the importance of connecting to the planet that you're on, and to be able to go in both directions. Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm very connected, but still very grounded in the same sense. It's a very big practice for me.
And you learned that from that lifetime. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I've got no earth in my chart.
Right. Interesting. Oh, can you feel the emotion of this life?
Yes.
It's like, oh, cool. Oh,
my hands are sweaty. So.
Oh, and I just realized too, your name's Sky. You've got the name Sky, so that's about, that's very. I just realized that. So those qualities are really, obviously, beneficial at the moment on the planet. And that's why you also came as a spiritual teacher to teach others, because you have embodied these qualities. Making me cry too. So yeah, very beautiful.
And I've always doubted myself. So.
Yeah, no, they're saying don't doubt yourself. You have within you inherently the skills, the spiritual gifts to make, a big difference. Oh, we all do, but they're saying to just, believe in yourself and know that you already have this in your soul that's of great significance to the planet at the moment, and you can help a lot of people.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
That means so much. So thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. I can't help crying when it gets emotional. I'll just blow my nose.
Especially about Dolores Cannon, because I'm actually just in the morning booking in to actually have my first QHT session with a level 3 practitioner here on the Gold Coast. So
wow.
Yeah, and she actually, I get a lot of downloads in the shower, and she to me,
she's huge. She's huge for you at the moment. So significant. That's why it was the first thing that came in. Wow. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Composing myself. And now we'll do you, Robin. Next.
I don't know if we can follow that one.
That's true. That's true. Hope it doesn't make me cry again.
Made me cry too. It's beautiful. So beautiful.
Yeah, it was a lot of emotion in that. So I'll get you to say your full name 3 times.
Robin Lisa Maria Dolzring-Leben. Robin Lisa Maria Dolzring-Leben. Robin Lisa Maria Dolzring-Leben.
Thank you. And I will say too, they're telling me to say this. I when we work for the light, we sometimes get pushback from the opposite, and I get at the moment I'm getting a lot of 5G electromagnetic coming into my house, and just prior to setting up for the session tonight, I just got bombarded with it coming in my house and going bzzz, like this really, really loud, because it's trying to deter me from doing this session tonight. So I just want to let you know that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I thought, you are not going to succeed. No way. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get this lifetime. Okay, so what came up for me is a lifetime where you were a brilliant chef. You were in France, and you were a chef, and you were female, and you were just this whiz cook. You could cook anything, and you would cook for many people. In France, they really appreciate the culinary arts, and they really embrace good food. And you actually, what happened, which is interesting in this lifetime, well, you were passionate and you loved doing this, but you ended up you did actually overindulge in food, and you got quite fat, and I don't think you lived like a really long life, because you actually were quite fat, and it affected your health, and you did die at not a super old age. Does that so? Do you have a tendency to sometimes maybe you can overindulge, or you sometimes you get the good things in life and you embrace them and things, but that there's sometimes that there is not the strong boundaries about maybe what's good or not good, or I don't know, something like that. Can you relate to that?
I love good food, good quality food.
Yes, absolutely.
I think I'm quite disciplined with what I eat and how much I eat.
Right.
But then there are moments, just the way, I've been brought up to, mum's very, you can't get too fat, da-da-da. So that's
but
constantly.
it's not even just food. It's like in other areas, like you have a thing where you get excited and passionate and you jump in and you learn it and you just want to learn everything about it, and it's like, and that's a really positive thing, it's enthusiasm, that's a really great thing. But in that lifetime, and maybe this is where you learned boundaries, because you had to learn through that experience that you had to have firm boundaries and you had to have discipline, or it could impact you. And in that lifetime, you didn't have that. You embraced with passion life and food, which is fantastic, but you didn't have that discipline and that boundary, so that you overindulged, and then you didn't live that as long life as you perhaps would have liked to. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's probably why I'm as what I am.
So you're quite disciplined and organised then in this lifetime.
Yes.
Okay,
definitely.
so that would indicate that was something that you learned in that lifetime through that experience, and you also learned in that lifetime you had developed great through your joie de vivre is the word, I think, and your passion for food and bringing people together through food. You develop really good social skills. So it indicates for me that you've got good social skills in this lifetime, and that you do magnetize people, and that you like bringing together people or connecting with others and that sort of thing. Does that resonate?
Yeah, and it's really come, even with what Martin was saying too, these people that you've known for such a long time, and the last 2 years, that's been a massive change. And I've really connected in our community too, because there are a lot of people that felt very alone. So I was really connecting, and I still do now, just constantly connecting people that need those connections. You can see it. And
beautiful. Well, you did that in that life too. You did that. Okay. You brought people together, and you gave them joy with the food that you created, and you sort of uplifted people, and you as I said, you brought them together and things. So I could see big tables of food and people and all, so yeah, beautiful.
We've only got a very small house, so I don't know where I'd love a big table full of food, but no. We don't fit many people in our house, so we don't.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it's like life in general that's a sort of energy that you bring, where you bring that that energy to things, which is really lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So you uplift, you bring people together, you and there was an element of creating as well with the food, of course, and also appreciating the beauty of food, and we're here also to enjoy our senses and enjoy the sensual aspects of being on the earth, and that's a great thing too as well. That's something certainly that we should be doing, but also within that having boundaries of what's appropriate and not, you know what I'm saying. yeah. So that was a colourful life, a vibrant life, and and the French people was the culture does. A lot of it surrounds food and all that sort of thing, and coming together at, meal times and all that sort of stuff, which is lovely. So there was a sense of community, I guess sometimes when we incarnate in Australia and in this type of nuclear units and things like that, we miss that sense of community and that wider community, you know, that extended family. We don't really necessarily get that here in this country. And do you have a sense of missing that sort of a European sort of?
No, we have it in this street. I'm sort of especially in this suburb where I live.
Yes.
And everyone says, oh, you know everyone, but only, you know, I just sort of check in with the neighbours. And
so you recreated that where you are.
Yes, exactly. Now that you say it, yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes.
Recreated. There's so many.
And I know it sounds like it's just one street, but even, it's bigger than that. It's more than just one street, but especially in our street here. And
yes, I want you to take credit for that, because this is an aspect of your soul that is, you know, doing some wonderful things by bringing community together and raising the frequency of all, you know, the souls around yourself and things. So, you know, you tend to be humble with that and not credit yourself for that. So I don't. That's a beautiful
You're right,
thing.
I don't.
Well, this is, I can see you energetically, you did that then and you're doing it now, and this is what the planet needs. You know, we need to come together and unify in community and help one another and support one another. So it's a beautiful thing that you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Credit to you.
Thank you.
I'd like her as my neighbour.
Me too. What suburb is it, can I ask? I'm
just in Newport, Williamstown, in Melbourne.
Really?
You know.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Williamstown's lovely.
Yeah. It really is.
I'm just up the road, West Footscray, but I've now moved to Braybrook.
Braybrook.
Oh, wow. You weren't far at all, Martin.
Oh, your sound went off, Martin. Could you unmute?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. My good friend lives in Newport, and I go and visit him every Friday.
Really? I wonder what street.
Can't remember.
Do you know?
It's off Woods Road.
There are a few different little pockets. That's a bit further away from us. Yeah. I mean Peel.
Peel, okay.
Like orange peel.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's that food again.
Yes, exactly. Oh, you're good. The linking.
That's funny.
Oh, very good.
So
very good.
On that note, I might move to the Akashic gifts for everyone. The time's running a bit late now. I'm just wondering how we're going to do this. What I might do, I'll do a technique where we're going to connect on the timeline to one of our lives, and then I'm going to go and get your Akashic gifts. So what I want to get you to do is to visualize in front of you, and we're going to go over, I hope that's okay time-wise, it's going to go over 90 minutes, but anyway. So I want you to visualize a timeline in front of your solar plexus. So the timeline in the center is the now moment. To the right is the future. To the left is the past. So I want you to hop on that timeline, and I want you to go back to that timeline. Choose one of the lives. For Martin, it will be the second life. But for everyone else, you can choose which one you most resonate with or you're guided to work with now. And I want you to hop on that timeline and go to that lifetime. And I want you to hop off the timeline when you get to that being, that soul in that lifetime, and introduce yourself and say, look, it's me coming to you from the future, and I just want to connect with you. You can have a dialogue with that being, and you could ask if there's anything they'd like to share, or you might want to share something with them. And then when you've done that, I want you to give one another an etheric gift. And this etheric gift is whatever you're guided to give them, and you can ask for them to give you an etheric gift, and you can place it anywhere in your aura, anywhere in your energy field you choose, and they can place it anywhere in their aura, anywhere in the energy field that you choose. So you're sharing these gifts, and then just when you've done that, just raise your hand so I know you're finished. Take as long as you need, and if you've got any questions, you can ask me. Janine, take as long as you need. I think you're the last one. Just raise your hand when you're finished. Okay. Okay, great. So everyone's finished now, I think. Beautiful. And I won't go into it because of the time. I won't go into asking you about that. But does anyone have a question on that, or is that all good? Yeah. Lovely. So now, thank you. So now I'm going to look at the Akashic gift for the Akashic records. So just a little bit of information if you don't know about the Akashic records. The Akashic records are basically the soul record of your entire lifetimes, from the first conception of your soul, when you were a spark of light that came out from the divine. It's the whole record of your soul's history from that moment. People like Edgar Cayce, Rudolf Steiner, Cryon, even Nostradamus worked with the Akashic records and talked and wrote about them. So they're very significant. The Akashic records are understood to have existed since the beginning of the creation and even before. And there are various sort of libraries of the Akashic records. Cryon talks about the Akash when he talks about the Akashic records. So basically, when I go to the Akashic records, what I do is I ask to receive a gift from an Akashic record keeper, which is something that's going to help you at a soul level at this time. And so it's quite a beautiful thing to be aware of and to work with, because in some way it's going to be working with you and helping you. So I'll go in first of all and I'll get Janine's Akashic gift. And okay, so I'll just do that now, and we'll get you to say your name again in a minute. And I'll get you to say your full name 3 times, please, Janine.
Janine Frances Horton. Janine Frances Horton. Janine Frances Horton.
Thank you. Okay, so your Akashic gift that wants to work with you on a soul level at the moment is the, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's the giant pyramid in Egypt. The Great Pyramid, I think it's called. Do you know anything about that?
No.
So the Great Pyramid in Egypt,
No.
I actually have been in it. I went in it many years ago, and it has a chamber at the top called the King's Chamber. So the king and the queen would come together and they would make love, and the energy would shoot out, and it would actually spin the stars, and it would spin the planets and help the cosmos to have its momentum. So it's a very beautiful energy that it created through that in the King's Chamber. It's on an actual portal, which is a really powerful portal ley line for the planet. And obviously the Egyptian information, the Egyptian history, there's an aspect to that they're asking you to connect with through that connection to the Great Pyramid. So what I'd like you to do is just to maybe research it a bit, read about it, ask what the gifts are that it's bringing you at this time. There is a shamanic element to that, and you do say you're developing your shamanic skills and gifts at the moment. So that another thing that you can do is you can print out a picture of it, for example, and put it somewhere significant in your house, like on your fridge or something. So when you look at it, it might be triggering information and memories and things like that. But it's going to be triggering a reactivation of cellular soul memory and knowledge, there's been, you know, reactivating that knowledge and the gifts. So you can ask for all the gifts from that connection to be presented to you, and just see what unfolds.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Very welcome.
I will do that. Thank you.
Very welcome. So now I'll go to Martin. I'll get your Akashic gift. I'll just disconnect energetically from Janine. And so Martin, I'll get you to say your full name 3 times.
Martin Gregory Featherston. Martin Gregory Featherston. Martin Gregory Featherston.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the Akashic gift that came forward for you, and it's always the positive meaning of what this means, because it's never the negative, it's always the positive aspect of this, is a crocodile energy. Now, I'm just going to look up what that crocodile energy means, because it has a particular meaning that's significant for you. Let me just look that up for you.
Yeah, I've actually got quite a connection with the pyramids. That's probably what started me on the whole spiritual journey, was learning more about the pyramids. And I heard that inside the king's chamber, that at one time it moved like 2 or 3 inches. Now, for that to happen, the amount of rock that's on top of that king's chamber is incredible. So for all of it to move a few inches would be incredible amount of power. And apparently, yeah, all those channels are all portals to stars and things, and it's sending out information all the time. Yeah, it used to. I don't know if it still works. But anyway,
that's great. Thank you, Martin. That's great to hear. And there is a reason that we've all come together in this group too. So sometimes there are connections, you know, soul connections, you know, with why we've come together like this, and that connection that you have with Egypt and that Janine's been activating, you know, that could be your connection, could be triggering her connection, if you know what I mean, and all that, and your soul connection could be as well. So very interesting. Thank you. They told me to say that too as well, that that's important to remember why we all come together. So the crocodile, so just this is about, oh my God, this makes sense. Oh, now I understand why you've got a crocodile, Martin. Let me show you. I'm just going to bring it up on the screen. Okay, I have a whole lot of information here that I have on my files, and here is crocodile. Creative force, Martin. Mr. Video producer extraordinaire. And you are being asked to connect to your crocodile creative force. So basically, the crocodile is a universal symbol of the creative forces of the world, common in Egyptian, African, and Aboriginal myth, as a force capable of both nutriment and destruction, a representation that signifies both birth and death, and in turn rebirth. Now, I will say symbolically, you just went through an initiation, which is like a death, with the experience that you just had. You went through this. This is like a spiritual initiation. It's spiritual mastery, Martin. So this was something your soul asked to experience to get to the next levels. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The thing you shared with me today that you just went through.
Yes.
That is the death, a spiritual death, which is part of an initiation, and in turn that will create a rebirth for you. So you chose that experience as part of your spiritual evolution.
Right, okay.
Traditionally, death and birth were seen as stages of initiation. This I'm channeling when I talk to you. The closing of one door so that one may open. As the crocodile is both a land-dwelling animal and an aquatic one, it can be seen as a doorkeeper of both worlds, life and death. the deeper knowledge stored there. The crocodile has its eyes on top of its head, symbolic of its ability to teach us to see above the physical and to trust ourselves intuitively so that we may metaphysically manifest with very little conscious energy. So you can manifest anything that has been lost with very little conscious energy through your spiritual mastery and your spiritual gifts.
Wow. Okay.
And you I don't know if you want me to share with the group. You may not want me to, what we're talking about, but
Yeah, no, you can.
I can. So
That's
I'll
fine.
just share with the group that that's okay with you, Martin. Yeah.
Yep.
So Martin did get scammed out of a lot of money just in the last, and it was is a huge thing to go through. So that was the spiritual initiation, which is like a death. And from this, he's going to be reactivating a lot more of his spiritual mastery and his spiritual gifts through that experience. And it's important to remember that we chose these things. Everything that we go through, we choose for our own evolution and learning, that we chose prior to coming in as part of our soul contracts and mission in this lifetime. So there are no victims. There's only opportunities for growth, and remembering that we chose that ourselves. So this is an opportunity for you, Martin.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so I've always sort of suppressed my creative side because I've worked in a technical aspect and work with a lot of creative people that I have to pull off their dreams and visions. I've always thought of myself as not being creative because I've worked with a lot of creative people, but I've since realised that it's just me being creative in a different way, and that I am very creative, and
Yes.
that, not to sort of suppress that at all.
Well, exactly. This is the thing. Tap fully into your creative gifts now. Now's the time for you to shine with those gifts. And they're certainly there because it's very, very strong in your energetic field.
Right, thank you.
Pleasure. Okay, so we're going to move on now to Tamara. So I'll just disconnect energetically from that, from Martin. And I'll get you to say your full name, please, Tamara.
Tamara Sky Holm, Tamara Sky Holm, Tamara Sky Holm.
Beautiful, thank you. Okay, your Akashic gift came through really quickly, Tamara. It's a, those wooden flutes. They're like, is it called like piccolos, or they're small and they've got little dots you put your fingers on and you play them. And there's something in that it's going to activate something in your energetic field, in your frequency. So that they're wooden, and it's a smaller one. And what I would
recorder,
not a recorder. It's more of a one that's like indigenous, or so for example, South American type one, which yes, you can play. And what I would recommend you that you do is find on YouTube, they have these playing on YouTube. And so if you just sit and listen to it, it's going to activate some cellular soul memory thing that's going to help you at the moment.
Perfect.
There's something in the vibration and the frequency and the energy of that is going to be activating for you. And it's, I could try and, do you know the type of thing I'm talking about?
I do. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. So it's like a wooden flute.
Flute, yes.
From South America. Obviously not metal, but wooden. And it's not a really big one, but it's sort of medium size to smaller size, medium. I'm going to write this also in your notes when I send you the information on the session today, so you've got a record of that. So what I recommend, go to YouTube, find that sound, and then ask it, and you'll be able to download what it's doing. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure. And now, Robin, I'll go and grab yours. I'll just disconnect energetically. And I'll just get you to say your full name, please.
Robin Lisa Maria Dolls Ringleben. Robin Lisa Maria Dolls Ringleben. Robin Lisa Maria Dolls Ringleben.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so your Akashic gift, Robin, is to visualize yourself standing under a waterfall, and that waterfall has all the colors of the rainbow, all the different colors. The reason being why you're given this soul gift is to help to reactivate all your gifts, all your spiritual gifts. It's like you function very well in the physical, and you also have some spiritual gifts now, but they're asking you to fully tap into all your soul spiritual gifts that you have, and by working with the frequency, the vibration of the colors that are coming over you in the rainbow, it's going to help to balance, activate the chakras, and to bring in more of these soul gifts that are already, in your soul already knows them, but it's just sort of remembering and activating them again. So just visualize for a minute the rainbow, and then all the colors coming over you, and just staying there for as long as you're guided, and that's just going to be really helping you at the minute. Okay, and see if there's anything else with it. There is also an aspect of that as well, with the waterfall and the color of connecting to the elementals. Have you ever been interested in the elementals, like the fairies or any of those things?
Yeah, it's funny. Not so much the fairies, but my daughter talks about them, and you see these gorgeous little ballerinas in flowers, and not a lot, but I had some cards that came into my life probably 25 years ago now, and they were fairies, these oracle cards on fairies. I'm like, oh, why did I buy those?
Okay.
I bought them.
Okay,
and
so
mermaids,
Yeah, exactly. And I was going to say the water ones as well, not just the fairies. So this also is reconnecting you with your connection to those elemental aspects as well, that perhaps you haven't really tapped into so much in this lifetime, but that this is all part of the wholeness of who your soul is. Beautiful. So those cards came to you for a reason. Those fairies back then. Lovely. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I hope that was really beneficial. And
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So grateful.
So beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
You're so welcome, everyone. And if anyone wants to write a little like a little testimonial or something, please feel welcome to as well. That would be beautiful. Or even if you want to do a video, that'd be great too. Anyway, any of those things are very helpful. And I'll send you over the next few days, I'll send you the recording and the resources and things. And if you haven't joined my Patreon community, please feel welcome. It's only $3 to join the basic level for a month. And you get a lot of resources and information, including, like, I've got free meditations and a audio of a crystal bowl, healing audio and different things. So you can activate some great stuff, upload and things if you join. And it also supports me and what I'm doing as well. And Yeah, thank you so much. I love working with you all today, and it was really beautiful. And sorry, I've gone half an hour over.
Oh,
It's okay.
so generous.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lots of love,
Thank
Lovely
you
everyone.
to
so
meet
much.
everyone.
Yes.
It has been beautiful.
Nice
Thank
to meet
you.
you all.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All the blessings, all the love and light to everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank